So this was Midway, the 4K disc, Dolby Vision for me, Dolby Atmos. This first time watch for me. I wasn't sure if I had seen this movie or not. 5 minutes into it, obviously I knew I had never seen it. And let's see. I'm going to come down. I think I'm going to come down in the middle of both of you here.
Goldilocks.
I did not love this movie, but I didn't hate it. I don't know that I'll ever watch it again, but I thought it was okay. Like I went into it, expecting to really dislike it based on some comments on the show, but I didn't. I do think that it has a lot of story problems. There are, without giving away any spoilers, there are characters and storylines that you just completely disappear in the movie and you never hear from them again until some end credit explanations on what happened to certain people. And I don't think Ed Skrein, if that's pronouncing his name correctly, is a leading man in any sense, and because I don't think he's very good. So the movie is the movie. Again, a lot of people have seen it. I thought it was okay. I don't know that I'll see it again. Visually, I thought it was okay. There are problems with the CGI that kind of bugged me, but there are some shots that look stunning, that look really good. But audio-wise, this is fire. This movie, this disc is phenomenal audio-wise. This thing now. I'm fairly new to the Apple Watch. I've bought my watch about a month ago. I've watched many movies since. This was the first movie to trigger my watch multiple times, telling me my environment was too loud. This thing shook the house. It is an audio experience. And if I ever watch this movie again, it'll be for that. Because I think the audio is that good.
Yes.
But again, movie-wise, story-wise, I didn't love it. So I don't think I disliked it as much as Steve did.
Well, that's the thing. And it's I probably came down right where you are, John, until I watched the extras. And I did this one.
Okay,
Steve
I haven't
knows,
done that. Yeah.
Way back. This was one of the first ones in 2020, early 2020, right, Steve? And it was...
Yeah, late 2019, early 2020. It was really early.
Right. And
pre-lockdown.
I had already done Universal Soldier earlier on as a standalone show, and that's Roland Emmerich. I did this one, Roland Emmerich, and I don't think I'd done any other Roland Emmerichs yet. But anyways, watching the extras on this and hearing the commentary that he gives, you will forgive the entire storyline. I'm telling you, because it was a passion project of his that he'd been trying to make since the 90s.
Right.
And and when you hear him talk about it, you can see how this thing gets pigeonholed into it. But you also understand this is Roland Emmerich. He just loves to make disaster movies. He loves to make home theater movies for us. I mean, he took the moon and scraped the earth with it, for God's sakes. It's this is so much more realistic than Moonfall.
Right.
It's and anybody that thinks that's a spoiler of Moonfall, it is the title. That is so, but what's funny is I was so excited about this movie when I've watched it. And this is back when I was doing these by myself. And this is how Steve and I really, basically became friends. It was he came out and was like, you are wrong, blah, 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 blah. And we had conversation. He goes, this looked awful. And everything you're saying, John, about the CGI and stuff, that's what Steve was talking about. A week later, I sat down and watched it again with Joe, but now I'm seeing it through Steve's lenses, and I'm looking at the CGI, and I'm like, damn it, he's right.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good, but it's so forgiving because the audio is so good. I don't even care about the story. Just you get the planes to a battle, whatever story gets them there, it's awesome. Those dive bombings, you're like, it's awesome.
Well,
I
and
think it's better than Maverick, to be fair. Some of these scenes are absolutely amazing.
I was just say I struggled a bit earlier when we were talking about Masters of the Air because these kind of ran together for me, and I was trying to think about, okay, did this scene happen in Midway or did this scene happen in Masters of the Air? But like some of the things that were lacking in Masters of the Air were definitely present here, you know?
Yes.
And like you felt
deep
these
bass.
planes. Yeah. Well, but I mean, you felt these planes, you know, like you felt like they were moving and they were in your room and kind of
close-ups
what you
in
hoped
the cockpit.
Masters of the Air was going to be.
Right.
But yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. I watched it on Kaleidescape. I was just like, oh God. It's like I saw you were doing it, and I went in and I grabbed
did you
some
watch it again?
scenes.
Yeah.
Not the whole thing. I didn't have time for that. I wanted to, but then I'm like, I got to watch these scenes and like those dive bombings, and then the skimming the water, and just all the oh my God. And it actually, and that's why I said I'm like, this is rivaling Maverick because they had the tight shots in the cockpit. They had those like everything that we got in Maverick, and this was years before. And he, I think he made this for like 50 million or something like that. I think the budget on
50
it
or
was
60. Yeah, it was a
very,
low one.
very low. And he's like, it would have cost him in the 90s, it would have cost him like over 150. And he's like, you know, he just kept putting it off until he could do it. So, but yeah. Yep. So glad you enjoyed the audio.
I do need to give it another go. I will when I can dig it down from the attic. Unfortunately, everything is in just bags and bags.
Say
up
that
the
again. While we have you on solo, what
no,
movie
I
we're
said
talking
to.
about?
I would. Yeah. Midway. Yeah. No, I'm prepared to do this. I'm not prepared to ever watch The Fifth Element again. That's where I draw the line. But with Maverick, but with Midway, I will. If I can find next time I'm taking some discs up into the attic, I will have a hunt around and see if I can find it. Not too much of a hunt around, but I'll have a little hunt around.
Unless it's laying right on the top, I'm not going to find it.
With a big sign like pointing at it.
Midway.
But I'll have a little hunt and see if I can see it. Bear in mind, there's about 2,000 discs up there, and they're all in various bags. But if I can see it at some point when I'm sorting it out, then I'll dig it out and rewatch it, and salute Deej every time it starts, every time Ed's screen comes on. I mean, my problem was the CGI being flat. Again, there are shots off the bow of the carrier that are just they look like they're in a video game. But also Ed's screen, the man does my head in, and he was
not good.
He's got that grin on his face that makes you want to punch him. Yeah. And that works very well for Deadpool when he's a bad guy. And it kind of works more in Rebel Moon because he's a bad guy. But in this, he's supposed to be an all-American hero, and you just want to punch him. I'm on the side of the Japanese every time I see him.
No, and again, like, trying not to spoil, trying not to give spoilers because I've been called out for that before. But there are scenes in this movie where military people are being asked to do something, and they act like they have a choice in the matter. Like, right. I just don't think I'm going to do that. Like, this is an officer, and he's telling you you're going up, or you're going to do this, or you're going here, and they're like, I just don't know if I can do that. It's like,
right.
Having been in the
Let
military,
me think about it.
You don't have that option. So that also irritated me, but I don't know.
Oh, I love your military stories.
Well,
John is not, he does not like to take orders. he went into the military when he came home.
But
no,
a weekend
boot camp. It was,
remember that
it was longer than a weekend.
You had to do what they told you to do. That much I remember.
Yeah. Let's just tell the story. We've got enough segues today anyways. The the bayonet story.
Oh yeah.
You gonna tell it, or you want me to?
Yeah. So obviously we were in. I was in the Army, for those that don't know, and this was basic training, and it was like, I guess, sort of combat weapons training, and they were teaching us how to use a bayonet on the end of our rifle if we ever found ourselves in the position to have to do that. And what they, what their instruction was is that, sometimes if you stab somebody hard enough with your bayonet, it could be hard to pull it back out. So their recommendation was to fire off a round so that you could loosen up the area and pull the knife out. And I think my response was something along the lines of, if I still have rounds in my rifle, there's not going to be any bayonet fighting. So many rounds of push-ups later, I learned that, you just kind of kept your mouth to yourself, or your comments to yourself. But
and it was at that moment that 4-star General Cerconi ended.
Yeah, that was
exactly.
not to be. So,
oh my God. When you told me that story, it was like, it was basically, you said the exact same thing, except for you had it like, wait. And like, I could just picture him standing there, because I'm thinking the same thing. Like, wait a minute. It's like, Sean's like, wait. I got rounds in my gun? There ain't going to be no bayonet fight. That's what he said. I was crying. I still laugh every time I hear it. I cry when I think of that story because it's so true. Like, what are you wasting? And John even acted it out like, bang. It's like, what am I doing? Oh God!
Yeah,
there are others. There are
a few others, but that's the one that still.
So, how long did you have to serve in the military stockade before they let you out, John? After taking the Mickey so many times,
they did throw me out of basic. Let's put it that way.
No,
were you at any point subject to a code red?
No.
Okay, that's all right.
No.
But we don't need him on that wall.
No.
We don't want.
You don't need me on that wall.
You
don't need me. He can handle the truth.
Thanks for watching this clip from our live stream. If you're new to the channel and you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button so you can get the alerts on when we go live and when more clips come out. And don't miss out on the audio-only podcast that comes out on Tuesdays called Takeover Tuesdays, where listeners take over the show. I have other guests, and we just chat home theater. You can find it on any podcast streamer that you use. Thanks for watching. Hope to hear from you in the comments. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like button.
Hey, Fred.
This has been a Hey Fred production with theme music by Jeff Bernhardt and Throne Vault Productions.